I told this guy that I'm talking to on Bumble. I was, hey Bumble, sponsor me. I was like talking to him about what I do right now and my future plans and whatever. And he's like, oh, so what's your next career move gonna be? YouTube influencer? And I was like, is my profile giving influencer? I didn't think it was, but okay, good to know.
Hi, I'm Lydia.
And I'm Sonikka.
And welcome to Pop Rocks and Tea, a podcast about all things pop culture.
And all the tea that comes with it. Today, we decided to just kind of give you guys, a newsy update, which we used to do way back in the day, changing the format around a little bit, but, just to give everyone a bit of a refresher as to everything that's happened in October in the pop culture world, because it was, it's always like time passes and we're like, oh my God, nothing's really happening. Or like, I don't even remember what music came out. And this is a good way for us to kind of be like, oh, actually, things were happening.
Things were happening, and we've been slowly keeping tabs on it all month. And this was a pretty busy month, and we're not even counting the Halloween stuff yet.
Yeah.
But there are so many things that we want to talk about that happened this month, starting with some movies.
That's magic.
Sonikka, do you want to kick things off in the movie category?
So I think probably the most talked about movie, most popular movie, most let's go and watch it in the movie theater movie of the month was One Battle After Another.
Say it. Say it, baby.
Love you, Bob.
Love you too.
Which stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Teyana Taylor.
Yes.
Essentially, it's kind of supposed to be, I guess, like commentary about the current state of affairs in especially the US, but then I'm sure like, if you really want to, you can extend it to the world. It follows this group of vigilantes basically that are trying to cause chaos and disruption and basically like lead a revolution. And everyone in power is like an old white man, which, America.
Yes.
And then after that, like a series of events happens. There's weird like power plays. There's weird like subplots about like eugenics kind of and like white supremacy. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, this was the problem for me. I kind of went into it thinking it was going to be like this kind of serious movie commenting on these issues and doing something a bit creative and different. And it's like 3 hours long. Okay. So like there's got to be a lot of content in it to make me want to keep watching. And like I always say, my biggest way of seeing whether a movie is actually good or not is whether I want to go on my phone while I'm watching it. And I will say that this had me for about 2 hours. And only after that did I start getting a little bit itchy for a movie that's supposed to be quote unquote woke, right? Or like, social justice-y. I felt like they somehow, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me on this, but they somehow almost made like the Black woman come off as like I won't say villain, but just like, because she definitely wasn't, but just a weird place that kind of positioned Leonardo, a white man, to appear more heroic, even though through the entire movie, he did not do anything. He was just confused and running around because essentially he needs to go find his daughter. The evil white men take his daughter and he has to go find them. And it's, kind of dystopian in the sense of like the tech that they use and whatever, code words and stuff like that. But I don't know. I was just like, what's the end game? What's the conclusion? So many characters come and go. besides Leonardo DiCaprio and I guess his daughter for the second half, like everyone else is like in and out. You kind of understand the motives, but like I don't know why anyone would go to these lengths to carry out like the things that they do. Like I don't know. It was just really, really like all over the like there was just too much going on,
It's
which
like
is
really
also
disjointed.
I
Like,
don't yeah, it was just like they were trying to fit in like three different movies into one,
mm,
which is also again like you know, you can of course it's a 3 hour long movie, fine. You can have a lot of subplots, just think them through. But what really, really got me that made me so confused because I can't tell if this was like intentional, but the music and also some of the dialogue delivery, but especially the music, made it come off as almost like a comedy.
like the soundtrack, or was it the orchestration or the score?
I feel like both. You'd have like a really intense scene, like say like a chase scene, okay? And you're kind of supposed to be like, or what I would think if I was the director, that you're kind of like on the edge of your seat, like waiting, like anticipation's building up. And there's like a very specific, like immediately I can think of what kind of music that should sound like. But instead it was like almost like Charlie Chaplin esque, like light, quick staccato type music that just made, and then that alongside Leo's role. Leo's character is like stoned for like most of the movie. So he is like kind of just all over the place as is. Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like especially if it's such heavy subject matter, because the big thing with this movie was the fact that it did touch upon very relevant social issues right now. And also because, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. He's directed a lot of very acclaimed movies like There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. This was like his kind of comeback after his last film didn't do so great. And I heard like the most random celebrities talking about like how good this movie was. Like Taylor Swift was on the Tonight Show being like,
One battle after
Yes!
another.
Oh,
My
that
God.
was great.
My God.
Yes, it was great.
Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor.
Yes,
how are they going to split the Oscar in half?
like, it's like
Yeah.
how good is this movie? So when you told me that you weren't the biggest fan, I was like, oh, because the critics love it.
I don't think it was bad. I just like don't think it deserved the hype that it got.
I guess, would you recommend this movie once it comes out on streaming?
So that you don't feel like you're having FOMO, sure.
Okay.
Like if you
Fair
have
enough.
3 hours to kill, sure.
The other movie that we're really excited about is this Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein.
Now, run.
This is basically Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein, and he's done so many cool, creepy, kooky movies before. And the cast is stacked. Like, what? We have Oscar Isaac as Frankenstein, the guy. We have Jacob Elordi as the creature. We have Mia Goth as, I think, Elizabeth, the love interest.
Yeah.
And her outfits just look spectacular.
Yeah.
Like
This
the
is like
costuming.
my dream. Like put me in a room with all of them.
I like, what do they talk about?
Don't
I
ask what we'll be
know.
up to.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be really, really good. And Guillermo del Toro said that a lot of this stuff is practical effects. Like he wanted to keep the CGI like as little as possible. And I also saw, I think there were pictures circulating around of Jacob Elordi's makeup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Which
looked good.
looks so cool. Yeah.
Because I was worried. I was like, Oh, how are they going to make Jacob Elordi Frankenstein?
He's already got the height
He's got
factor
height.
down.
He's like 6'5". Yeah.
He is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's already got the dimensions down. And it's okay if Frankenstein is a little sexy.
I feel like you're unlocking some kind of
Let's go back to that Bumble sponsorship.
yeah. Moving on to TV shows.
Was the topic self-esteem?
TV.
TV.
Let's start with Gen V season 2.
I'm not any chosen one. Chosen ones are like Harry Potter, Neo, fucking Frodo.
We love the boys universe over here.
Yeah. Like I said, the boys, I feel like that show changed my life. That show made me a fan of the superhero.
I mean, I've only been telling you to watch it forever.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the fandom, I guess.
Yeah. And the fact that they have the spin-off Gen V is so great to me. And it, like, both shows flow into each other so well and seamlessly. Like, it's TV magic.
Yeah. This season was going to be very interesting because unfortunately one of the cast members, Chance Perdomo, passed away like right when they started filming. And so the writers had to kind of come together and figure out how are we going to honor this actor, honor his character, and also, you know, retool the script so that the story makes sense. And I think they did a really good job with all three of those things.
Yeah.
This season, the characters have to kind of solve this mystery. There's like a new principal that comes in and nobody really knows where he came from. And he is very, very sinister. And they're like, what is this guy's deal? What does he have to do with the school? And then more things are slowly uncovered. And it turns out the secrets go a lot deeper than they think. And every single episode just built so perfectly onto the last one. And the way that it tied into the bigger boys universe.
Yeah. That's what really, I was like, oh, it's all connected. And it's like really good writing and storyline, and like, it's so imaginative. I don't know. I'm just like truly constantly like so impressed by this show. I do not look at my phone for a second when I watch this show.
Passes the phone test. Good.
Good. Like, the only time I look at it is like I'll just be holding my phone because I'm really scared that I'm gonna have like a jump scare, which there aren't very many of, but I'm just like, ah.
It has you on the edge of your seat. It has you, like, it had at least me going week to week, just on the edge of my seat, like, what's going to happen next? Like, how are the characters going to get out of this one? And I'm really excited because they announced that there will be a season 3. And this also will, you know, go into The Boys season 5, which is projected to come out next year.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Me too. The other big TV news that we have is that Love is Blind season 9, I think this is the 9th season, went down as the first season in Love is Blind history where no couple got married at the end.
At the altar, the truth will come out.
Spoiler alert, but all of these people were pretty terrible.
You know, I really thought that there were other seasons as well where no one got married.
This is the first one. I tapped out after the DC season just because I was like, it can't get any worse. And I was wrong. Obviously, I was wrong.
I am obsessed. There's only one season that I skipped. I can't even remember which city it was, but
I skipped Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah. This season, though, lots to talk about because, yeah, I want to say, with the exception of like two people, all of the contestants that get into the engagement rounds are like awful people. Like, two of the guys clearly there are like, don't want to get married. Like, they have cold feet.
The wedding is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks.
And their partners are like, I love you. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, why don't you say
Who's
it
the other
back?
one?
Why aren't you passionate about this? And they're like, I don't know. Why are you so excited? And it's just like, you're in this to get married, right? Like, what? Why are you here? Why are you here?
So this is Joe, and who's the other one?
I would say Nick also, right? Is that his name?
It always gets me so confused when I hear these guys say all this shit in the pods where they're like, in this case, Nick was telling two women that he loves them, like basically back to back, like from one room to the next, like, oh, I love you, like I would never want to like do anything to hurt you or whatever, like stuff like that. And I was like, you know that they're gonna watch this.
Yeah. Like, he told one girl, oh, you're my number one. I'm in love with you. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then like ended up dumping her, and then went to the other one and was like, you're my number one. You've been
Ended up
number one
dumping
the whole
her
time.
because she was like, oh, I'm not that religious. Like, I'm not really religious. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I said, I don't believe that after this, I don't believe a God exists.
You did not say never.
I mean, one could assume.
After this implies the before. Are you kidding me?
You knew that was not me.
He took it as like, oh, you're a liar. Like, you lied to me. You deceived me. I'm done with you. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, she did not.
That, and also like, I found everything like so performative. Like I want it, like, it felt like he was like playing like what is it? The performative man with like the tote bag. You know what I mean? Is that just what it's called?
I feel like it is.
I mean,
what
he
it's
wouldn't
called.
he wouldn't carry a tote bag, but like that
I
energy.
feel like Edmund is the performative man.
Hey, there can be more than one.
So Edmund and Calabria, they were like the only Black couple this season that like ended up making it to the weddings. While Calabria was like a very lovely, very well-adjusted woman. She just wanted respect and for a man to, you know, be her partner, and
She just
not
wanted
and
someone
like,
who like matches her maturity levels, and she picked like probably one of the most immature people on this show ever.
yes, so immature that he openly admitted to eating his own boogers, made out with the floor, and got so upset at the fact that she didn't want to have sex with him until marriage, which, mind you, would have been in like 3 weeks from that point, that he full on threw a temper tantrum.
I'm just always the nice guys, but me up. I'm too nice.
No. Stop it.
I can go on a whole rant about that.
His reaction to Calabria's not saying I do at the altar is just forever going to be a great meme. Like, it's just...
It was just like such unprecedented levels of unhinged. I've never seen it before. So
I've never seen a grown man act like this.
yeah, like so freely be unhinged. I was honestly a bit scared that she was going to say yes, and I'm really glad she
I
did.
wasn't. She's too smart.
I know, but
she's
then
too
it's
smart.
the way that they like edit it with like everyone happy, and like the moms going and like saying, you know, I'm just like, no, yeah.
There was also Anton and Allie, who Allie just wanted like a sugar daddy, and Anton just wanted like a trophy wife to kind of show around. But like, they
Was
just
also like an alcoholic.
he was an alcoholic. She just couldn't cook or clean and got Botox all the time. And I don't
You know
understand
what?
how either of them thought about saying yes.
She's a baddie, so everything's excused. I'm like, at least she's a nurse, you know, at least she's like doing
Fair enough. But like, you
Leg-
can't cook or clean? That, I'm
she
sorry.
chooses not to. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't endorse that.
Even when they got together, I was like, it's been a day and you guys have already said yes? Based off what? My other qualm is that I feel like for multiple seasons, the Love is Blind producers have just not vetted the people coming on their show properly. And literally from like season 1, there were complaints that like there is a woman here who has a drinking problem and this show is worsening her drinking. Like we see her becoming progressively messier.
If anything ever comes up, you reach out to me.
Yeah.
Jessica probably had a little too much fun.
We're 9 seasons down and they still have not seemed to solve this problem. Like,
No.
I just feel like it takes like a little bit of vetting because there's so much more that can happen that can be problematic or dangerous or whatever it is. And if you're going to like put people in this situation, like where they have to live with someone who really like, sure, they're in love.
A lot of people online have been saying like, oh, this show's kind of done. Like, experiment over. This should be the last season of the show. Like, we don't want any more. It's clear that these people are just being toyed around with on TV.
Yeah.
And it's really not fair for anybody who is genuinely coming on the show for love, because some of these people are coming on for clout. Some of these people are coming on for, I don't know, other reasons that are unclear to me. Why would you want to be in the show? I don't know.
You're not even like getting like influencer gigs out of it. Like,
No.
because there's just too many of you. And even like the ones from prior seasons, like we have like Natalie and like Deepthi, they have like their own podcast and are doing like relatively well. But I'm like, it's all like a symbiotic relationship. Their careers now still depend on Netflix and these reality TV shows. And like, it's all just feeding into the same cycle and like information loop. And there's not like, how many people are you going to have who have a podcast discussing Netflix reality TV shows? You know,
I mean, we're doing that right now, but we didn't start
we're
on
not
Netflix.
getting paid by Netflix. Netflix, though, if you want to,
DMs are open.
DMs are open.
I think it's clear after this season, these experiments over, close the pods. I'm out.
Love is not blind.
Clearly. Moving into music.
Rise and shine.
I mean, the biggest thing in music was the Taylor Swift album. We've already talked about that ad nauseum. So go watch our other video for our thoughts on that.
It has ruined my Spotify algorithm.
Same. Oh, it's ruined my algorithm as well. But there was some other fun music that came out. Like Doja Cat dropped her 5th album called V. And I feel like a great highlight from this album is the song Amen. A lot of the music is on this is very 80s synth inspired. And she worked with Jack Antonoff on this album, which I was very nervous about. But most of the songs are pretty good. I would say that most of them are like, yeah, but Amen to me is the standout. And she performed this song on SNL, and it was one of my favorite performances of her ever.
Yeah. This album didn't hit as hard as a lot of her other ones have in the past. And I think maybe that's just because it's different. It does very much so feel like a Jack Antonoff album as well. A lot of the sounds I wouldn't peg necessarily to Doja Cat, but I would to Jack. Jealous Type.
Yeah. Jealous Type is still a great song.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
Gorgeous
good.
is also good. And Take Me Dancing, the song she has with SZA, I thought was also very fun. Tame Impala also dropped an album. And the exciting part about this is that I got to go to the Tiny Desk. So I got
a very cool one to go to.
it was very, very cool. And I wasn't sure like what he was going to play. Also, I learned that Tame Impala is not a band. It's just one dude. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Childish Gambino is Donald Glover. It's just this one guy, Kevin Parker. But he had a band with him, and he ended up debuting his song Dracula for the Tiny Desk. So I got to hear that song before everybody else, and it was really cool. I also really liked, what's it called? It's like Endless Summer or End of Summer.
Yeah.
It's the last song on the album. I just think it's very fun and vibey, and yes, very reminiscent of summer afternoons into evenings. I don't know. And the other one I liked was called Not My World. That's the other one I liked.
I liked Oblivion too.
Oh, I liked that one. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a
Overall,
good album. Like Dracula is for sure like the top song, I think, and hey, go off. But just like fun, groovy, a nice like album to move from summer to fall.
yes.
Like it's a nice like transitioning, like still groovy, but got like a little bit of like a cold breeze running through it.
That's a good way to put it. Fun, vibey tunes for fall.
Yeah.
The other album that I can't get out of my head is Olivia Dean's The Art of Loving. This is her second album,
Olivia
I believe.
Dean, and where did she come from? Because
She's from London. She's from London, babes. She's had like some TikTok songs before. That's like when I first kind of heard of her, and she blew up with this album because of the single Man I Need. Which is just an overall banger, but the rest of the album I think is so beautiful. It's just exploring love and all of its complexities, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant.
It's just like very like something about her voice feels very warm. I don't know, I'm really enjoying this like jazzy, soulful, but still like upbeat music. Like we have Ray and her Where the Hell Is My Husband, which real great song. Even on this, I love So Easy to Fall in Love by Olivia Dean. Like it's just
Nice to Each Other is another good one.
nice to each other.
But then also like songs like Lady Lady is also really cool. That lady, she's the man.
Yeah.
Like I love that song.
Yeah. It's just very like very warm feeling and just
timeless.
Like makes me feel like I could be just, background movie montage type stuff. Then we have just one song.
Rosalia.
I saw this other reel that was like, I'm so glad Rosalia has decided to remember that she's European.
Hey, yo.
Hey, facts.
It's true.
She did European well.
This song is a very interesting one. It is called Berghain. This is the first single off of her next coming project. The album is supposed to be called Lux. Contrary to what we might have thought before, it is not from a German opera. It is just inspired by German opera. And that's what this song is. It is Rosalia with like an orchestra singing German opera in German and in Spanish. Wow. What an incredible
It's very
song.
cool. So the whole album was created alongside the London Symphony Orchestra, which I guess the rest of it will also be like this. Really not what I thought it was going to be at all, but like, okay, range.
The music video for it was really cool. Like the orchestra's kind of following her everywhere.
They're like little like Snow White references weaved into it. I didn't even know she was dropping a single. I thought she was like maybe in a movie or like trailer or something. I don't know. It was very high production.
Yeah. No, I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to hear the rest of the album.
It's just cool to like have someone who's like mainstream doing music like this. I feel like it forces people to listen to different types of music. So yeah, because I'm not seeking out opera in my day-to-day life. So
yeah, I can't say that I am. But it was really, really lovely to hear.
Shall we go on to some news in the fashion world?
You guys have to be on point. You have to be fierce. You have to be ready.
It's a big runway month because there was like Paris Fashion Week also. We're not going to go into all of that. But two of the biggest runway things that happened this month were the Victoria's Secret fashion show and Vogue World.
Victoria's Secret fashion show happened in New York, had a bunch of models and then also like other notable people, I guess.
Influencers in there.
There were some influencers. There were some athletes.
Yeah.
You know, Victoria's Secret has, I like keep hearing about like these girls who were like, oh my gosh, it was so iconic. We used to have like viewing parties growing up. And yeah, I would not do that. Brown parents would be like, what?
Why are we watching?
What do you think this is? Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it is Victoria's Secret as a concept is obviously very iconic. And, you know, we've all been in the store and tried on the bombshell bra when there was nothing to fill said bombshell bra with.
That's correct. That's a canon experience if you are a woman, honestly.
A fun time. But then obviously they fell off for a bit because everyone was like, oh, this is like not body positive and like a highly problematic concept and place. And
there's a documentary that came out that was exposing all the problems with the company and the company's leadership. And yeah. It wasn't
Victoria's
looking hot.
Secret was out. So yeah, but then I think this is the second year that they've had the fashion show come back.
I think what makes this one different than the ones that have come before it is because this one was live streamed on social media also.
Yeah.
It was made a lot more accessible and they did a big thing with promoting it. They also included, again, models that you wouldn't necessarily think would be walking a Victoria's Secret runway. And they also included lots of models of different sizes this time. The woman who opened up the show was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Really just including all kinds of women. And it was neat.
Twisted. There was still like, you know, the Bella Hadids of the modeling industry. Like
Hadid was still there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, presented in a bit of a different format. And I think that's why it was so notable.
There were a lot of like good singer, like, you know, musical acts. Twice was there, which I have not been able to stop watching. Their
was there. Carol G was there. Madison Beer also was great. Like
I need to give that girl her flowers because I'm going off topic here.
Yeah, overall, I would say the fashion show was a success. I think coming back from its previous scandals, I don't know how much of a big fuss they can really make of this every year, but you know, I'm surprised what they pulled off this year. It was fine.
I wonder how much people are actually going and buying things from Victoria's Secret.
That's a good point.
Because, I mean, okay, I don't have Victoria's Secret, but
I don't either.
But yeah, but I don't think anyone does. Really?
I mean, let us know if you do. But
yeah.
I personally don't shop there. I think their stuff is overpriced, but then it comes with the brand, you know, like.
Exactly. I think their like biggest selling point is that you get to get measured in store by like their expert people or whatever. But
you do that at
I also think you could do that anywhere.
I don't think it's that unique of an experience.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the whole point of the show is to like get more people to buy. I don't know. I feel like we're in an era of comfort over like lacy push up.
Yeah.
So
And then Vogue World was last week.
They did a bad thing. They did a bad thing.
Started doing this a couple years ago where they basically have this big runway event and they showcase, you know, a theme with a bunch of different designers and things, and they invite actors, they invite singers, they invite all kinds of different celebrities and influencers to either walk in the show or sit in the show and like be a part of it and promote it and whatnot. It's just a big thing to basically promote Vogue. And at first, Vogue World kind of felt like, why are we trying so hard to make this a thing? Can we please stop trying to make this a thing?
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
And this year, they actually did something really clever with it. The theme was Hollywood, so a lot of the runway were costumes from different movies. And they pulled stuff out of archives from older movies, from newer movies. They had different actors walking the runways. They had the costume designers showing off, their pieces from years before. And there were a lot of interesting moments. Like they had people in like the Dune outfits and the costumes from Black Panther. But then you also had, Kendall Jenner walking out in Nicole Kidman's Moulin Rouge outfit. Like, I like the references they pulled. They did it in LA. It's a whole homage to Hollywood and older movies. And I don't know. I thought it was a really cool show.
it was very fun. It was very different. And I think it achieved the goal, which is to get more eyeballs on Vogue, get more eyeballs on the attendees. You know what I mean? Like it made sense.
Like there was a model on the runway who was dressed as Edward Scissorhands and like went around and was like going up to the other models and like pretending to be Edward Scissorhands. Like they were totally hamming it up with whatever outfit that they were in. And it was just really, really cool. But the other thing that stood out to me about this runway, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to not take an opportunity to dunk on Gracie Abrams, but Gracie Abrams, I don't think this is 100% her fault, okay? Because she was one of the performers at the show, and they left her out to dry. Not my business, but I had to warn you.
I feel bad for her because she has horrible friends who didn't tell her that she can't sing before she launched this career.
I know that with some performances, especially with big TV performances, they'll put in like a backtrack or a reverb or like pitch correction, right? They can help pitch correct people. So if you're broadcasting to a large amount of people, there's less likely of a chance that it's going to sound terrible because you'll be on pitch. They couldn't even pitch correct her for this, or they did and they just failed. Like they left this poor girl out to dry. So
all options are bad here. All possibilities of what happened are bad. And
yeah, Gracie, I don't know if you're in voice lessons, but please consider them, please. The last piece of fashion news that I want to talk about was this piece of clothing that broke the internet this month. And that is Kim K's Bush thong. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it is quite literally how it sounds. Kim Kardashian, for her line Skims, made a thong with hair that makes it look like, and it's sold out. It's sold out. People are buying them.
You're Italian. I'm brown. I don't know. Are people struggling in this department that they need to go purchase this? I don't
just don't shave. Just don't wax. just grow your.
I had the same thing when she put out the nipple bra with like the
Yeah. Oh
painted
my God, I
nipples.
forgot about
Somehow though that like still makes sense to me, I guess. But again, like you could just
be cold. Just don't spend the money. There's no need. There's no need. There's a much more natural option.
Pain-free.
Rounding out the month, we have some other headlines that I think are worth discussing.
One of the bigger pieces of news in music and sports, which is not Taylor Swift related, is that Bad Bunny has been announced as the performer for the Super Bowl halftime show, which has obviously brought on a lot of backlash because of the state of affairs in America.
Yeah, people namely saying, oh, why are we not having an American perform? Check yourself, because Puerto Rico is in America. The MAGA people just like forgot geography for a second. They really did. They just
forgot,
ignored, what have you.
I'm quite surprised that he agreed. I mean, obviously it's a big gig for him, but like he was kind of like, I'm done with the mainland US. I'm gonna just chill in my island.
He was like, I'm not going to perform there.
Yeah.
Because of ICE. I'm not going to do it. But I think it also is a statement of like, oh, I'm not going to perform there. But if I can perform on like the biggest stage in the United States and that be my one shot, I'm like, I get it.
I get it. For sure. Yeah.
And it will certainly make a statement. I mean, it is making a statement.
And it's
already.
I mean, he's an artist. Like he shouldn't have to, carry the weight of all of this, but he is, and that's life, and that's the way that the world works now. So,
And if you're mad that you can't understand Spanish, go learn Spanish. And if you're mad that he should do songs in English or whatever the fuck, like just go listen to his songs. You don't need to know Spanish to dance to the songs.
Yeah. Turn off the TV. Like, accept your fate as a hater and like uninvolve yourself. No need to bring everyone down with you. Like they're not going to come with you. They're going to watch Bad Bunny.
Next, in news that has quite literally shocked the world, the Louvre in Paris got robbed and the internet is having a field day with it. Like, the internet just loves seeing some good old-fashioned crime.
Yeah.
Like, these guys got in on like a fucking, like they just like snuck in a window and used box cutters to open the glass, took the jewels and left. Like, what?
It's really, I think, like the simplicity of it that really makes it. The Indian side of the internet is having a field day because it's like stolen jewels that are
of course it is.
Stolen again. I'm sure.
If it's in a museum in Europe, it's probably stolen.
Yeah. There's been a lot of commentary on where the jewels are going to go.
I've just absolutely loved the ways that the internet has taken this joke and run with it. Like, people are doing Halloween costumes as the Louvre robbers and just getting like little like traffic vests and like a tiara. Like, that's funny to me.
It's just a fun piece of excitement. Like easy to follow, easy to understand why they did it. The Crane, was that what it's called? The Crane Company, what they got up on there.
Yeah.
The German company, they like made an ad because of it. They were like, oh my gosh, look at how great our cranes are.
Die Idee, wenn es mal wieder schnell gehen muss. Und dann haben wir das Bild am Montagmorgen erworben oder Lizenz dafür und haben gesagt, wir machen das jetzt auf Instagram, Facebook und später LinkedIn und hoffen, dass alle dieses Augenzwinkern nachvollziehen können und dann auch das Ganze auch nicht so ernst nehmen.
Something fun that everyone could like unite over and be like,
yeah, for sure. Also this month, this is the sad part of the video, I guess, but we learned about the deaths of Diane Keaton, who was a legendary actress. She was in so many very much acclaimed movies. My personal favorite of hers being First Wives Club.
Tell me what to do and don't tell me what to say. And when I go out with you, don't put me on display. Pretty good.
She was also like most famous for being Annie Hall, and she was Woody Allen's girlfriend, unfortunately, for a good period of her career. She was in all kinds of like rom-coms and dramas, and she just was all over the map and had iconic style to boot. R.I.P. Diane Keaton. And also D'Angelo, who was responsible for a lot of R&B hits in the late 90s and early 2000s. That was really sad to learn of his passing as well, because he was young. He was, relatively young. He was like
50s?
50, 51. But he was one of those like artists that just like dropped only a handful of albums. Like I think he dropped like maybe 2 or 3 projects and then was like legend.
Yeah.
And to round out our October roundup, we learned that Coleman Domingo is going to play the Cowardly Lion in Wicked for Good, which is a nice way to to transition into saying that our next video is probably going to be on Wicked for Good. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. Everyone be very thankful that it is not, what's his name? James Corden.
Thank God it's not James Corden. Marked safe.
Yeah.
From James Corden.
We would have words if it was James Corden. But Coleman Domingo's a very nice choice.
But yeah, you can stay tuned for that. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know if you enjoy us doing little roundups like this, because we'll keep trying to do them every month and help you guys catch up on all the pop culture news you missed.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you can, well, first, of course, you should follow us and subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. We are available on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. So all the major places. And you should also go ahead and follow us on Instagram. We are at Pop Rocks and Tea Pod, and we post, little snippets from this episode and other funny content, memes, etc. And if you want to leave us any comments, expand the discussion, our DMs are open. We're happy to chit chat with you guys over there. In the meantime, get some Pop Rocks, drink some tea, and just grow your own bush. Tend to it. Water it.
Tend your garden.
She just needs some love.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.